Alright. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the videos. It's wonderful to have you here as always. So today I'm going to try and make a little bit of progress on the Beamer, or the Beamang W. I need to make a reverse plenum for it. So I'm going to show you guys how I go about doing that. As soon as I find enough bolts. But yeah, there's a couple of ways to go about it. My way probably is a bit untraditional, I guess, but it seems to work alright, so I'm going to stick to it. Also, if you missed or you're not following my Facebook page, I figured out why my boost control wasn't working. I've got a dead Mac valve, so you can hear it tick, but it's not actually opening. And there you can sort of see it's not actually opening when the solenoid goes off, so that's dead. Yeah, got another one of them on the way. I also need to order TPS and IAT for the LS throttle body, so I can make a start on that. And I want to redo the 3-inch exhaust, but let's see how things go. With the rest of it, I also need to get that diff mount back off. The bushes that are in it are chewing themselves out already, so I've got to get it off. I might turn something down out of aluminium on the lathe at work, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. For now, I've got to go ahead, get one of these manifolds up on the bench, cut it up. I'll show you where and how I go about cutting it up. I've just realised I forgot my paint pen inside, so I'll go and get that too. Hopefully I got enough cut-off wheels to get the job done, but I think, well, actually I reckon I'm going to have enough, but I'm going to have to go and get some more soon, I reckon. I've only got like 1 or 2 left. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. I'll get the tripod set up, and then I'll get one of these up on the bench, start cutting it up and show you guys how I go about it. Okay, so like an idiot, I left the microphone off. So I get the fun job of sitting here and doing a voiceover for you guys. So what I normally do is I normally cut them just outside the bolt holes, about here and here, and then the same again on the other side. That way I can put the lid back on and bolt them down, swapped over to the opposite side, and then I can go and tack them on, fully weld them around the outside, and then that way I can then remove the top plate, fully weld them again on the inside, and there you'll have it. You'll have basically a reverse plenum. So what I'm doing here is I mark out basically where I want to cut, just a little bit on the outside edge of that bolt hole, just sort of roughly about sort of 10 mil outside, or sort of 10 mil past that bolt hole. Same thing again, I'll try and have it in like a semi sort of straight line. Doesn't have to be anything perfect, as long as when you line it up over on the other side, you mark it to be the same. And then yeah, what I normally do is I normally cut just along that bottom edge. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Trying to keep it as straight as possible, just so that way there's not a giant gap that needs to be filled. So once you get that side cut out, I overlay it onto the other side, lining up the bolt holes. It's very important to keep the two bolt holes lined up on both of them because that's the reference point. And then same thing again, you go ahead, cut out this side, again keeping it as straight as possible and following the lines that you've marked, because you've now marked them for the same width as the piece you cut out on the opposite side. Straight along the bottom, keeping it in about the same sort of area. I did end up having to take off a little bit of material along the bottom on one of the pieces just to bring it down enough. But it didn't need very much at all. Right, so turns out the mic's been off the whole time. That's a oops. What I was saying is I mark sort of outside of these bolt holes, and then I cut this off. Sorry, it's on that side. Place it over here, and then mark and cut it out. So now I can go and bolt the lid on and sort of tack and mostly weld it in place. And then from there, it's pretty straightforward. What I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to clean this up before I can tack it on, and then I'll bolt the lid on to these and this piece, and I'll go and I'll mostly weld them in there so that they're getting a lot of strength, and then probably tomorrow I'll come back and finish weld them all up. there you go. Yeah, so there you have it. So what I'll do, I've welded up along here on both sides. What I'll do is I'll let it cool down overnight. Then I'll come back tomorrow. I'll do these last little bits there. I'll do the bits across the top, and then I'll go back around on the inside and just basically fully weld it inside and out. Clean off any of these that I want to clean off. I'm probably not going to do anything with it. I'm really not too worried about how it looks. It looks pretty good. I'm happy with the welds, lots of penetration, etc. So yeah, I'll let it cool down overnight so it's really nice and cool and it doesn't warp. I'll leave the lid on it. Tomorrow I'll come back, flip it over, pull the lid off it, weld it inside, outside, and yeah, Bob's your uncle. Then you've got a reverse plenum. This probably isn't the neatest way to do it, but it's been the best way that's worked the best for me so far. Yeah, I mean, the one on Ethel's done this way, welded both inside and out, etc. What I'll probably do is I'll come back here as well, weld up this PCV, just quickly grind it back flat, clean it, wire wheel it inside out, degrease it, maybe splash some paint on it, and then yeah, it's ready to go up on the beamer. All the injectors still bolt on in the same spot. All your ports at the back are right, and throttle body's just on the other side now. So yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it here in this video, guys. Progress is made again, finally. Can't see me. But yeah, reverse plenum. It's going to be needed on this car. I'm happy with the way it's turned out. It's actually turned out a little bit nicer than the one that's on Ethel, but yeah, I mean, I'm not going for show car quality on this. I also have been thinking about upgrading the intercooler on Ethel, so maybe that one will get donated onto this. Just because being only a 3-inch wide core, it might be choking it down a little bit. I don't know, it might choke it down, especially once I get that big throttle body on it. So I mean, especially after watching Rob Dahl's video with his intercooler issues, sort of got me pondering about mine. The engine oil, I'm not too worried about at the moment. Yeah, engine oil, I'm not too worried about it at the moment. I'm starting to kind of think it's just the oil, so what I'll do, I might leave it in there for a little bit. I might drain it out pretty quick and change over to something else. But I gotta have funds to get some replacement oil for it, and right now I don't have any. I've got 40 bucks I'm using to spend to get TPS and IAT to do the throttle body. I've got to get another throttle cable because I think that one's going to be too short. Yeah, so there's a number of things that I'm going to have to get. And there's another number of things above the list for that. So I don't know. I'd like to redo the exhaust as well. So that's another job. I've got to get that diff mount out, get some better bushes in it. So yeah, I don't know, things are just getting a bit out of control with Ethel at the moment. And then I've got this I need to get parts and funds and all the rest of it for. So now that that's semi done, I'll come in and finish it off, and then might plop the wiring loom over it and have a look. I need to do some research on some of the inputs outputs of that ECU control box and stuff, etc. up in the corner. so then I can work out how to integrate this VR harness into it. So that's going to take a bit of figuring out as well. I also do need to yank the engine and trans back out for one more reason, because I have to put a bit of a weld on this sump. There's a bit of a pinhole leak in it, and I have tried to weld it on the car, but there's a bit of oil or something in the pan and it's contaminating it too much and it's not welding. So I'm going to have to pull it out, roll it over, grind it back, clean it up, clean the inside of it, run a quick bead over it, and then slap it back in the car again. But yeah, it's getting along, it's getting there. Sway bar mounts, I need to make up some spacer brackets for it. Yeah, probably have to get a couple of hoses made for power steering and stuff. But I'll start working on all that once it starts getting a bit closer. I've probably got stuff in the meantime that I'm going to do to Ethel. Like I said, I've got to get that throttle body on. I really want to get stuck into that. I'm going to need to do my charge pipe again for that. I want to redo the exhaust, and I'll probably try and swap out the intercooler at some stage. If I can afford the funds to get a replacement 100mm wide intercooler. And there was something else. Boost control, I've already ordered it. It's on the way. 100mm throttle body. The rear housing. I want to step up the rear housing size on the turbine. Yeah, turbine side. It's got a 0.81 or 0.82 AR rear housing on it at the moment. I'd really like to step it up to like a 0.10, I think they make, or a 103 or 105 or something like that. But they're all divided housings, so I'm going to have to sort of knife edge the divider. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how I go about getting that to work. I don't really want to redo these manifolds as a divided manifold set, so I'd really like to stick with the open scroll housing, but no one's making one in a big enough AR that I need for this thing. If you guys know of any that are available to suit the BorgWarner S366, please let me know and I'll definitely go and look into those. But as far as I know, I think I'm going to have to make a divided housing work on this. But anyway, that's enough rambling and nonsense from me. I'm going to go inside, get myself some dinner, get a shower, and then get a video edited for you guys. But yeah, this is probably going to be my last video for the week as well, unless I end up getting something magically and doing something on this car. Like I said, I do need to get that diff mount on, so maybe I might come out and yank it off, I don't know. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Please leave a like on the video, throw a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.